There's a chance I'm gonna regret this one. Hello people of my YouTube channel. We've talked about the fact that I'm a failure of a human being and I lack the ability to do even the most basic human functions like breathing and sleeping. You think the universe would sit there and go, hey, you know, she's got it pretty difficult, let's give her a break. No, there's more to add to this list. It just keeps going. One of my really big flaws is I tend to act before I think. I've always done this and it's just gotten worse as I've gotten older. Sometimes this is an advantage because in some situations it is better to just do the thing and not think about it for 3 days and psych yourself out. Most of the time, however, I tend to get myself into some pretty big trouble. I'm a stereotypical Gryffindor, really. Also a complete nerd. Anyway, due to this tendency to act before I think, I tend to say some pretty dumb things. Not dumb as in horrible and offensive, I mean I don't have much of a filter, but I'm a nice person, really. But dumb as in, are you kidding me? Is that something that just came out of your mouth? Please cease to exist at this very moment right now, just stop. For instance, that one time my friend sneezed, and instead of saying bless you like a normal person, I said you're welcome. It still haunts me! Or that one time I was talking about the Hogwarts houses to my friends because I'm a complete nerd and any conversation with me is basically about Harry Potter or Marvel. And instead of saying Hufflepuff, I said Hufflepuff. 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 Or when I was recording my song Break. I'm not sorry. There's a line in the bridge that goes, I've got a long list of guys who could take your place. But I accidentally sang it as, got a long list of guys who could break your face. And then there was that time I met Dan and Phil. And instead of saying something really meaningful and nice and thanking them for bringing their tour to my city, I told them that I really looked up to them and then proceeded to actually look up at them because they're a foot taller than me. Like, yeah, nice going, Jess. You're one shot at meeting your faves and you it up. Though it was kind of funny and I'm actually really not that sorry about it. Anyway, the list goes on. I say so many dumb things that I don't usually get all that embarrassed by them anymore. Usually. Every now and again, I say something that's so bad that I'm still cringing about it 5 years later. This particular story I'm about to tell you is one that I have tried very hard to erase from my memory. I put it in a box, put the box in the cupboard, locked the cupboard, thrown away the key, moved into a different house, and yet somehow it still manages to find me. My most embarrassing story, and I'm about to share it with the internet. Oh, this can only go horribly wrong. Okay, the first detail you have to remember here is that when this happened, I was 16. Everyone is an idiot at 16, okay? If you're 16 now, you'll look back on yourself in 5 years' time and go, wow, I was an idiot. It's just fact. No one becomes an actual human being until they turn about 20, so... Anyway, as most people do at age 16, I had a part-time job. I worked in a service station, or as every Australian ever calls it, a servo. Had a job downtown, working a servo. Thanks, 5 sauce. Now this servo was dodgy AF. Do people even say that anymore? It was a really dodgy place. I worked there for 2 years and man do I have stories. But anyway, it was a job, it was close to where I lived, it paid okay-ish, not really. Could be better money. So I wasn't really complaining. That's a lie, I complained all the time, but it was a really dodgy place, okay? A few weeks after I started working there, I was doing the big 6-hour Sunday shift on my own. 16, only been there for a few weeks, left on my own in a service station. No supervision at all. Dodgy! So I was about halfway through my shift, and the thing with the 6-hour Sunday shift is that it was good money, but oh my god, it was the most dull shift imaginable. Nothing happened on Sundays. I was essentially paid for just standing behind a counter, staring off into space. So there I was, standing behind the counter, staring off into space, replaying the Iron Man movie over in my head for the 15th time, waiting for a customer. Any customer to walk in. Soon enough, my prayers were answered. My god, were they answered. I hear the door open and look up, and standing there in the doorway is one of the best looking people I have ever seen in my entire life. Like seriously, Chris Evans could have been standing there and this person would have outshone him. Like, I just, wow. Now listen, I'm not an attractive person. That's a complete lie. One thing you'll learn about me is I'm very conceited and not at all sorry about it. No, really, when I was 16, I was a complete dork. I mean, if you think I'm dorky now, you should have seen me at 16. I was ridiculous. I used to cake the wrong color foundation on my face. I wore heavy black eyeliner on my waterline. No mascara. I had no idea what mascara was. I had bright red hair. I never touched my eyebrows, so I had this very unflattering monobrow situation going on. Honestly, teenage me was a complete disaster. I mean, adult me is still a disaster, but at least I kind of know how to do makeup now. So anyway, this incredibly attractive person walks into the servo and up to the counter, and I'm sitting there staring like, whoa, the universe is actually being kind to me for once. So there was an awkward silence for a split second before I remembered that I was supposed to be working. So I stood up and tried to be all cute and flirty, which definitely came off as annoying, awkward, and weird, because I'm just that type of person, where any social interaction I have with anyone is just an awkward mess, and I should just basically never go outside ever. So I asked this person if they're after anything else. Wink wink. And other things I should never do again. Or just wanted to pay for the fuel that they put in their car. They said, no thanks, just the fuel. And this is where things took a turn for the worse. I remembered that the universe is not a kind place, I'm an idiot, and I should never speak to any human being ever. No thanks, just the fuel. I respond with, and what's your number? Coming from anyone else, that would have been the smoothest line ever. But I was an awkward, dorky 16-year-old kid sitting on her own behind the counter covered in dust from a dodgy service station. I immediately go red and try to cover up my mistake by grabbing the FPOS machine and saying, I mean, which account was that on? Check, savings, totally smooth, right? Easy fix. No, this person is looking at me like, what the fuck is happening right now? And holds up a $20 note that was so clearly in his hand the entire time and says to me, I'm paying with cash. I was beyond mortified at this point, and it took me twice as long to process the transaction because all I wanted was for him to leave so I could curl up in a corner and die. I hand this person their receipt, and I swear to God, I've never seen anyone race out of that store so quickly. And as soon as they're gone, I collapse behind the counter and spend the next 2 hours of my life just like, why? Why am I like this? There you go, that's the story of the most embarrassing thing I have ever done. I've been trying to repress that memory for 5 years, and yet it still haunts me to this day. I could have taken this story with me to my grave, but I think it's important to share stories like this with the internet sometimes, because while it might make me still want to die thinking about it, it does make a good story, and I hope that it made at least some of you laugh and realize that however much of a disaster of a human being you might feel like, compared to me, you're actually doing pretty okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And also, if you feel like sharing, tell me in the comments, what's something horrendously awkward that's happened to you because you've acted before you thought? Did you just laugh it off, or are you like me and you're still cringing about it 5 years later? Please make me feel better about my life. Please. I'm begging you. Just please. If you want to see more videos from me, then make sure you hit subscribe. And hey, while you're there, ding that notification bell so you get notified as to when I upload a new video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna go cry. I'll see you in the next video. That is all. Goodbye.